All right, guys, we are going to get started with talking about our new chapter, which is chapter 23, and that is art, music, and movement. And this is a huge chapter for the kids because this is where we can see such growth in them by doing art activities and music and movement activities, okay? So if you will, please take one of your graphic organizers and a study guide, take one and pass them around. And if we'll flip open to pages 501, so Haley and Sabrina, if you guys will flip to 501, and then Brian and Matilda, if you'll go ahead and flip to 507. And we'll start with our graphic organizer here. So as we're looking at page 501 and 507, I want you guys to kind of think of some activities that we can use with the children. Sabrina and Haley with art activities, and then Matilda and Brian with music activities. So I'll give you guys just a minute to look in your book, and then we'll see if we can come up with some of those things for the kids. Personally, I think art, music, and movement could just about been two separate chapters because I really feel like these are such important areas for our children, and it is a great way to get our kiddos involved. They love art, they love music and movement, so we really have a lot of material to cover in this one chapter. Okay, does anybody want to go first with coming up to our graphic organizer on the board and filling in some of these activities? Matilda, what have you got?
I have music activities and body sounds.
And body sounds, okay. So if you're talking about body sounds with the kids, Matilda, what are you specifically talking about? How would you show the kids or get examples from the kids of sounds that their body makes?
We could do the heartbeat, how do you feel your heart going?
Okay, good.
You stomp your feet, then moving your arms, and then snapping your fingers.
Okay.
And even the sounds that your voice makes.
Okay, excellent, that's great. So you want to write down, oh, I'm sorry, here we go, let's get you a Sharpie. There you go. And just write down the body sounds, yep, sounds that the body makes. All right, art side, you guys got something on art? What would you say, Haley?
I have painting, coloring, drawing, cutting, modeling clay, and...
Okay, so could you come up and write a couple of those on our art side?
Like the one box?
Yeah, just write one of them in there, it'll be fine. You said attaching, so when you're talking about attaching, what are you exactly talking about there?
Like gluing
Okay, gluing,
and...
putting stuff together, so crafting along those lines, yes, and the kids absolutely love crafting, okay? Brian, do you have something you'd like to go and add to the music side?
Yes, everything sounds like what they hear, like an alarm may be going off on the phone in the morning to
Oh,
wake
great,
them up.
great. Are we already exposing our kids to the phones? Oh man. No, that's great. So what's some other sounds that they would hear in their daily life?
Maybe like when they're eating breakfast, like they're pouring a bowl of cereal, like they pour the milk on their cereal.
Yeah, okay. What's some
Or
other
like-
things?
When their mom starts the car,
Yes.
take them to school.
And they kind of get that panic, oh man, I gotta go to school. Yeah, that's good. So write, everyday sounds would be perfect. Okay. All right. Sabrina, did you get something for the art side too? What would you add? modeling clay, oh my goodness. They can do a million things with modeling clay. And of course, it's so neat because then they can just wad it all back up and build something again. So they can keep going for a long time with modeling clay. Okay? Very good, guys. All right. So if I was doing an art activity with my preschoolers, I would, first of all, be talking to them about maybe a particular artist. So for us today, we're going to talk about Wassily Kandinsky. So I could write this on the board for them. And I could ask them, does that sound like a name that we're familiar with?
No.
No, no. Do we know anyone named Wassily? No, I don't either. How about Kandinsky? Does that sound like a name that we usually hear or we're familiar with? No. Actually, he was from Russia. And so when we were talking last month about showing our kids the different cultures and cultural diversity, this would be a great way to have Russian artists or Russian dress or Russian toys. We could add those into our centers to be able to introduce even what the country Russia is. But so we would say, well, Wassily Kandinsky is from Russia. He lived a long, long time ago, back in the 1700s. And he was an artist that was known for abstract art. And so we talked a little bit last chapter about how our kids don't really think abstractly, that they need things concrete. It needs to look like a tree or look like a dog. Well, Wassily Kandinsky was known for his abstract art. So basically what that means is he just drew random, crazy-looking things. That's what he was known for. These are two of his paintings. Something he really liked to do was called circles. And so this is what we're going to actually do. This is Wassily's circles. And so we're going to go to the back table and we're going to make some circles. All right? So we're just going to randomly draw circles. This is two art classes that did their version of Wassily Kandinsky's circles. And so we're going to head to the back table and we'll get ready to paint. So as you guys are getting ready to think about getting your lesson plans for us for next week that you'll present to your class, you guys are going to come up with an art activity. And so we want a little bit of preface. We want about the artist and maybe show some of their samples. And then you will also have an art activity for your entire class to do this time, okay? And so I want this lesson plan to be a little bit longer than you typically have done. So I want it to last a little longer. I want you to go into a little more detail. And we will have a rubric that you'll be graded on. And then you also will be grading your classmates. Okay? So let's all head to the back table and we'll do a little bit of art. Okay. Materials down here on the ground and we're ready to go. So you guys will start painting circles. Any way that you want to do it will be perfect. One of the things as you're preparing your kids to get ready to do their art activities, you want to make sure that you have all of your material ready for them and that you have plenty of materials so that the kids aren't having to, fuss about them or that kind of a thing. You want to make sure that you've got plenty of everything. And then in this particular situation, we are making something specific. So we're telling them that we're making these circles. But any way they make the circles is perfectly fine. So of course they've already got some samples down there, and then I would also show them my samples so that they can see any way you do it is perfectly fine, okay? So you guys go ahead and get started on your circles, and you'll paint 2 circles each. You each get 2 just right above each other or below each other.
Just like this way.
Yep. And so just paint away and do your Kandinsky circles. Okay, so do you guys have any questions about what you're supposed to do for your art project? Or
Should we include in our art project for our classmates?
in your art project that you'll be presenting to your classmates, you'll want your artist that you are using their work for the kids to do. You'll also want all of your materials that you need. You need to have everything set up and ready to go for your students, for your classmates, to be able to do the project and complete your art project with them, okay? So you'll probably wanna have a sample.
Are we all using different artists? Will
Yes.
you like ask us which one we're doing and then?
Yes, I'll get you to all use your own artist, okay? So if you need to do a little research, if we need to use the iPads or the computers, we can pull those out and you guys. Who mixed it? Oh, it's okay.